Well, good morning. Welcome to another live, and this morning questions we're going to get to. So wait a moment here or two. Lucy, Annette, good morning to you. A lot of good questions this morning we'll tackle in a minute. Evangeline, Darlene, Andrea from Niagara Falls, another Andrea from Nouveau-Brunswick, Mike from Wawa, Lizzie, Meredith, Huguette, bon matin, Nick from our staff, sorry, good morning, Zian, good morning to you, Sandy, good to have you on, Jeanette, and Vera from Nova Scotia. Good morning, Vera. And Donna, good morning to you. Mary Jane from Connecticut. Pauline, Cheryl, Sherry. Okay, for those, and I'll come on and say hello to the rest of you a little later here, okay? Good morning to everyone, and good to have you on. We got some good questions this morning. Janelle is asking, or is it, I can't even read my own writing. It's, I remember when I was in grade school, I can't remember what grade it was, probably grade 4 or grade 5, and the teacher said, if I can read Tony Martin's writing this morning, I'll give you an extra time at recess. And that's a true story. I was always a bad writer. Okay. What causes thyroid nodules? Thyroid nodules. Well, look, most thyroid nodules are benign. They're not cancerous. Most. Over 95%. And in my practice, I found, like any kind of benign nodule or tumor or whatever, it was a sign that 1 out of 3 things were wrong or going on, 2 out of 3 things, or all 3 things. You know what I found? Anytime you have growth. Yesterday we talked about breast cancer. Breast cancer has overtaken lung cancer as the #1 cancer in North America. It's sickening to me. It's sickening to me. When, ladies, you get a nodule, it can be precancerous. If it's benign, good. But why do you even get them? 3 things. 2 of them are growth hormones. Repeat, but I'll repeat it till the cows come home. 1, insulin, food. Insulin is a growth hormone. And it usually makes you grow where you don't want to grow. Insulin. It makes fat cells like there's no tomorrow to store sugar. So you have to change your diet. If you've got thyroid nodules, even if they're benign, take them seriously. You don't want them to turn to cancer. Don't feed the bears. #1. #2, usually what I found, too much estrogen. You see, I'm talking to you about the same things that I talked about in breast cancer. Insulin, estrogen. Let me answer a question here because I think I'll put this in there. Wait a minute now. Where did I see it? Someone was asking about, oh yes, here it is, Celine. Good question, too much ground flax seeds, not flax seeds, but grinding them up will release cyanide. Fake news? Yeah, it's fake news. Now listen, if you've been following me for years, I tell you, look, do you have to grind up your flax seeds? Nah. Look, maybe if you have diverticulosis, you want to grind them up. But generally, like they used to say, and I've seen this for 40 years. Flax seeds are no good unless you grind them up. That's not true. It's not true. Flax seeds will be ground up once they get to your stomach. Your enzymes release that high acidity in your stomach. There's a natural, you already have a grinder. It's called your stomach. It's high acidity, it's a furnace, it's a grinder. It'll, your body knows how to do it. Now, am I against ground flax seeds? No. I'm just telling people I don't know why, God gave you a stomach. And he gave you enzymes to break those things down. Okay? So anyway, ground or not ground, flax seeds are good. Because flax seeds have lignans, and lignans block estrogen. Just the opposite of what you'll read online most of the time. Oh, flaxseed don't have that, and men don't have flax seeds, and because it'll lower your testosterone and give you estrogen. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. That's why I like it so much. Okay? And our hormonal formula blocks extra estrogen, which is a big problem. So thyroid nodules, 1, insulin, food. 2, estrogen. The world around us is full of estrogen. We live on planet Earth. Good luck trying to get away from it. Do everything you can to block the extra estrogen. And 3, guess what? Stress. Yes, because cortisol is an accelerant. Cortisol, when there's a growth, and this is why I talked about it yesterday with breast cancer, cortisol adds fuel to the fire. It creates inflammation. And it makes things grow. That's what cortisol stress. And who the heck isn't stressed today? Okay? Very good question. Okay? No, I didn't even write down who asked this question, but how can saturated fats be good for you? Don't they clog up your arteries? Look, I don't mind you asking the question, okay? I don't. Because I have to undo 50 years of bad teaching. Because when you see bacon fat, okay, can I just use that as an example? You're frying up bacon. Ooh, look at that oil. It looks like fat, and that's going to clog up my arteries. It must. I mean, nothing can be farther from the truth. First of all, well, let me use an example. Olive oil. Oh, doc, that's good for me. So the same people that are telling you that saturated fat is no good for you, especially when you see it in bacon and eggs in the morning. Imagine eating bacon and eggs in the morning. How bad can that be for you with all that grease? And that's going to clog up your arteries. Brought to you by the cereal companies. Bring me a bottle of olive oil, and then those same people will say, well, that's part of the Mediterranean diet. That's good for you. Olive oil is good for you. It is. I agree. But what makes up bacon and olive oil? What do they have in common? The same fatty acid. It's called oleic. It's the same. And if you're asking me then, well, then it's just a matter of taste. What do I like better? Bacon or olive oil? Butter or margarine? I like bacon better than olive oil. Not that I like olive oil. You want to, for people that don't like bacon, maybe take a little tablespoon of olive oil every day. It's good for you. I got no problem with that. It ain't going to clog your arteries. But it's got the same oil as bacon. Oleic acid. They don't clog arteries. Sugar clogs your arteries. Because sugar is going to elevate your triglycerides and lower your HDL. Crappy carbohydrates do. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Somebody said it the other day. It was some medical person on on Facebook. Said, oh, Dr. Martin, that's all it's so repetitive. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I don't apologize. I don't apologize. That's me. On Monday, I'm going to talk about a cancer study. I want to, and it'll be a little bit new under the sun, but under Dr. Martin's teaching, there's not a lot of new things under the sun. I'm just going to I'm going to repeat, and I'm a simple person. My mind thinks very simply. I'm not complicated, guys. I'm not. Ask my wife. I'm not complicated. She had me figured out on day one. No, but seriously, guys. But I don't mind repeating. I don't. You ask me the question. I get asked every day, and I mean it, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Doc, I thought that kind of fat is bad for me. I know, but remember, it's brought to you by Kellogg's. It ain't true. It's not science. It might look bad in the pan. If you've been thinking that way, it looks bad in the pan. Butter, fry it up and see what it looks like. Oh, look at that grease. That'll oil down your blood vessels. See, fat, oil, fatty acids. You should be taking so many fatty acids that you're sliding out of rooms. Make your blood vessels slippery. Sugar clogs them up. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Okay. Good question. I don't mind answering it. Donna? Oh, it was Donna. Sorry. Your name was there. Donna. Good question. I don't mind. Next Friday, I'll answer it again. Because I got to undo it. Okay? I got to undo it. Lucy, if I can't digest dairy, is there any supplement I should take? Yes. Vitamin K2. Now, Lucy, you can't even digest butter or cheese? If you can't, some people can't. If you can't, I get it. Somebody's saying I'm freezing up there. I can tell you it's not on my end. Okay, so if you see that, that's Facebook. That's their problem. Maybe because we have too many people on, or I don't know what that is, but I know that because of, I think a couple of days ago it was happening, people were commenting on it, but it wasn't on my end. It's not on my end. It's on Facebook's end, okay? So try and bear with me, guys, okay? So if I freeze up a bit, it's Facebook, it's not me, okay? And I did see it, okay? Lucy, okay, so, and the reason I say, Lucy, vitamin K2, because dairy gives you vitamin K2, cheese gives you vitamin K2, and butter gives you vitamin K. Cheese curds are the highest source of vitamin K2. So if you don't, if you can't take any kind of dairy, I would recommend, and we put vitamin K2 right in our vitamin D supplement. We put the best vitamin K2 in there. But if you're asking, that's what I would do. Grace is asking about Rogaine. Rogaine is for hair. Be careful. Be careful. It's got a lot of side effects. So, especially ladies, I get it. Hair is, the Bible says that's your glory. Women, men, look at. Men lose their hair. It's almost unusual when they don't. You get older. You should have seen the hair I had. The other day, I'm looking at my grandson's hair. My word. I said, you guys, I'm telling you, you could be movie stars. You got movie star hair, I called it. Like, incredible. Well, I had good hair, but I don't think I was a movie star hair, head of hair. But men, women, it's never normal to lose your hair. And if you want a teaching on that, we talk about hair specifically. It's usually in women, there's hormonal issues, estrogen dominance, cortisol. We talked about it the other night. Why women lose their hair. It could be a sign that you have estrogen dominance, a sign of too much cortisol, a sign that your thyroid is not working properly, even though your blood work comes back within normal limits. Those are often thyroid symptoms. And ladies, just be careful, because the vast majority of women do not eat enough protein, and protein is king for your hair. If you take a strand of hair, protein, your hair is made up of 99% protein. And when you don't eat enough, your hair can suffer. It's one of the big factors, okay? You need protein. Somebody asked the other night when we were on our webinar, how much protein? Well, you're not going to eat too much protein. You don't even have to measure it. How much protein, doc? I don't care. Eat protein. It's good for you. Protein is king. Protein and fat. Lower the carbs. Good for the hair. And bone broth is good for the hair. I'll answer a question about bone broth because Denise asked a good question about xanthum and guar gums. Okay, those are thickeners. When you have a product on the shelf, like our bone broth, government regulations is you have to put not only a thickener, but what guar gum does, it dries up any moisture so the product doesn't go bad. You need to do it. Now there's different types of fillers and emulsifiers and whatever. Guar gum is a plant. It comes from the bean. And they got to get rid of that moisture, otherwise you're going to get mold in a product or whatever. And that's why, and then you read stuff online. I read about it. I see it all the time. Is it the best thing? To me, you need it. Look, you're not going to use guar gum if you make bone broth at home. You won't need xanthum. Xanthum is the one you put in usually when it's a liquid that's going on the shelf. And guar gum is when it's a powder. Anyway, it's a good question, you know, and then you go and Google it. Oh, don't use guar gum, and guar gum's bad for you. And nah. Denise, I don't agree with that. You have to. If you're going to have a product in a powder that you're going to put on the market, Health Canada will demand it. And the FDA will demand it in order to get the moisture out so you don't have mold in the product. Anyway, okay, good question. I appreciate it very much. Nicole, is naproxen better than ibuprofen? No. Okay. Well, naproxen is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, and I've talked about how it kills it's almost like an antibiotic killing your friendly bacteria, and there can be lots of problems with it. Okay? I tell the story about Vioxx. Now, it's been, 15, 20 years now? Vioxx? You can Google it. It killed 50,000 people before they took it off the market. 50,000 people died from a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory. They had heart attacks. It killed them. And guess what? They had put money away because they knew it was dangerous. They made so much money that they took about 10%, the pharmaceutical company, and they put it in a savings account because they knew once people started to get sick and die, they're going to have to pay out. They paid out and still made, and nobody went to jail. I should actually write a book about Vioxx. So look, if you're taking naproxen, you got pain, or you take ibuprofen, there are more people that go to the hospital with the side effects of ibuprofen, Tylenol, and that. With kidney damage, liver damage, mostly liver with ibuprofen, naproxen. Guys, and I'm not telling you never to take it, okay? So don't come after me. I'm just telling you that, you know, when they say, oh, you know, you need to be careful because you're taking too much B12, okay? And you need to be careful because your vitamin D, it's fat soluble and it can give you lots of problems. You know what? That drives me insane because the waiting rooms in the hospitals are not filled with people. Oh, you know what happened to you? You took too much vitamin D. Oh, you know what happened to you? Your B12 is too high. No wonder you're sick. No, 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 no. A lot of times it is because of ibuprofen and non-steroidal anti-inflammatories like Advil and naproxen and others. And again, you got severe pain and you're taking something like that, try and minimize the damage. Make sure you're on probiotics and double them up if you have to take that. Okay? Thanks for the question. Okay. I wish I could read my writing. Farida is saying, what do I think of peanuts in a shell? Well, I like peanut butter. I call it vitamin P. Is it a vitamin? No. I like it. I'm sorry. It's one of my bad habits. I love peanut butter. But I get the natural peanut butter. Now, what about peanuts in a shell? Yeah. Yeah. It's a legume. You know, I wouldn't overdo it. But you want to have a snack? Not on the reset, but after, you want to have some peanuts? You want to have some peanut butter? Make sure it's natural. The other one's got icing sugar in it. and hydrogenated oil. That's why you don't need to put the unnatural peanut butter. You can put it in the cupboard and not in the fridge because of the hydrogenated oil. It elevates your omega-6. It's not good. That's a bad oil. Okay? Marianne is asking about water. And then Anne is asking about what path water takes. So this is really, really, really important. This is water 101. Water essential. How much water? 2 liters a day. My American friends, that's 64 ounces. How do I know that? Because of 46 years of experience with water. The vast majority of people are dehydrated because they're not thirsty, and they take that as a sign that they're all right. That doesn't mean you're all right. That's why I love the reset, because on the reset, I insist you drink water. 2 liters a day, 64 ounces. What kind of water? I like mineral water. You know why? Because it has a better pH, alkalinity. Now listen, if you want to take water out of your tap, I'm only asking you to probably do 2 things. 1, filter it. So whatever device you got, filter your water, because there's so many chemicals that come from city water, okay? And secondly, maybe add a little bit of Himalayan salt. What does that do? It makes it spring water now, because spring water is full of minerals. Minerals is what elevates the pH of water, okay? Those are the rule of thumbs with water, and only water is water. You got it? Only water is water. Coffee's not water. Tea's not water. Juice isn't water. Only water is water. And here's why, Anne. Because water takes an independent route through your body. You know what? Like, I wish I had a graph. So when you have tea, why would you have tea if you can drink coffee? Anyway, if you drink a cup of tea, it goes through your stomach and then into your intestines, and your body absorbs the tea, but it's got to filter out certain things. The tea. Well, it'll take it in, and if there's anything there that your body doesn't need or whatever, you'll pee it out. You know what's beautiful about water? It takes a direct route through your stomach. It's got its own pathway and into your bloodstream in a nanosecond. 5 seconds. Off to all your cells and every part of your body in through the 60,000 miles of blood vessels. And by the way, let me just say this about water. I've said it before, I'll do it again. One of the best things you can do to thin your blood out is not aspirin. Okay? One of the best things you can do to thin your blood out is water. Proven. Most people don't, especially men. I don't need any water. I'm not thirsty. Ooh. I used to measure viscosity of blood. That's the thickness of blood. I said, to the man, you got a thick head and thick blood. Thin it out, fat head. I didn't say that. No, I meant it though. I meant to do it. No, but seriously, men they're so stubborn. Oh, honestly, I'm telling you. What planet do we come from? Okay. Good questions, though. I really like it. Okay. So Marianne, I asked that, and Anne, I answered that. Barb, what about limes? Does the reset help? Absolutely would help. Now, limes is a bacterial infection. I've seen lots of cases of it. And I don't care if it's limes or anything else that's a long-standing virus or bacteria. There's several things you need to do with limes. One, reset, absolutely, because the reset will it will lower your insulin, it will up your immune system, and will supercharge your body to fight limes. It will detoxify your liver, and that's an important factor in fighting limes. It's a chronic bacterial infection, and it's very difficult to diagnose. But I used to tell patients a lot of times, because they would say, do you see limes in your practice? Well, look, it's limes or lime-like. Just assume it's limes, I used to tell my patients. And let's now go through my protocol. You know what it was? The diet, no sugar, don't feed the bacteria, no sugar. 30 days of a reset. Secondly, high levels of vitamin D. Third, and this is a question, by the way, that's being asked this morning. Can Dr. Martin talk about the benefits of oil of oregano? Who's asking that? Somebody did. I thought I wrote it down. Oh, yes, Charmaine. Can Dr. Martin talk about the benefits of oil of oregano? Never heard of it. Yeah, oil of oregano. It's my favorite. It's antibacterial, natural antibiotic that you take. That's why I put it right in our digestive enzymes. Every day I take oil of oregano. You know why? Because I take digestive enzymes. Then I brush my teeth with oil of oregano. Clean the sinuses with oil of oregano. There's nothing better. It is the greatest antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antiparasitic, all of the above. And listen to what I'm going to say. This is really important. It does not kill your friendly bacteria. See, God gave it to you in nature. So it doesn't kill the good guys, it only kills the bad guys. Isn't that good? That's why you can take it every day. And limes hates oil of oregano. Limes hates probiotics. So you need probiotics, you need oil of oregano, you need high levels of vitamin D to get your T cells up and your natural killer cells that will go after those viruses. Take at least 8,000 IUs a day minimum of vitamin D. Eat your vitamin S, steak. Limes hate steak. It does. Because it has zinc. It has vitamin A. Carrots don't have vitamin A. They have beta-carotene. That's a precursor to vitamin A. Get the real thing in vitamin S. Eat your steak. Very, very good question, Barb. Okay? Lori. Sore feet, bottom of the feet. Well, that can be diabetic that can be diabetic neuropathy. You got very hypersensitive feet. Pretend you're pretend you're a diabetic. That's usually the cause of that. Very sensitive feet and sore feet. Often you don't even realize it. It's a sign of the fact that you're insulin resistant and you really are a diabetic, but nobody told you because your blood sugar, the last thing to go is your blood sugars. Sometimes the first things to happen is you got really tender feet and they're painful. Bottom of the feet especially. That can also be a sign of B12, low B12 levels. That can be a sign of that. Any neuropathy. Pain too, nerve pain and whatever. A lot of times it's low levels of B12. Oh, my doctor said my B12 is normal. Yeah, it's low though. Because remember, the B12 test is 100 years old. Get a new one. Seriously. because you can have low levels of nitric oxide. That's what B12 helps. Remember what nitric oxide does? Boop. Nitroglycerin opens up your blood vessels. Blood supply, nerve supply, B12. And somebody asked, let me get this here because they were asking about, Danuta, can animal protein raise your homocysteine? No, it's the opposite. Homocysteine goes high when you're low in B12. How do you get B12? Where is it found? In food. Red meat. It ain't in chicken, ladies. It's in steak, ladies. In case you need a reminder. And high levels of homocysteine are a factor in heart disease. It's not animal protein that does that to you. That's fake news on the internet. There's a lot of fake news. And I don't mind telling you that. Good questions. I really love the questions. Betty's asking about what causes bladder infections. And Betty, well, look, if you get one bladder infection, you can go, a woman can go in a hot tub and get a bladder infection. Why? They got opening to the bladder. You know, your anatomy is different than a man. That's why women are much more susceptible to get a bladder infection. But I'm going to tell you something. If you get repeated bladder infections, it's not bacterial. It's yeast. So your diet, your diet has a huge effect on it. Leaky gut, leaky bladder. Yeast, the third army invades, and it loves moisture. A bladder is a moist place. Kill the fungus, kill the yeast. Okay, good question. Okay, now Evelyn. Donated blood. Okay, good question. If you get, look, when you go to give blood, first of all, you know what they're going to check? They do it right there on the spot. They want to make sure you're not anemic. They don't want your blood if you're anemic. And of course, they screen you for HIV and all this kind of thing. You don't want that going in your blood. So yeah, I mean, you don't want tainted blood. There was a big scandal in Canada with the Canadian blood supply. Was that in the 80s? And one of my sisters got hepatitis C over it. She got tainted blood. Now, hopefully they fixed all that. And yeah, I mean, but generally, like if someone's unwell in a sense that they have, I don't know, they might have some disorder, but it's not affecting the blood per se. They'll take your blood. Look, if you need a transfusion, you're better off to get platelets and red blood cells and extra oxygen. So it's probably not perfect, but the screening is there. Evelyn asking a second question about constantly getting cortisone shots because of rheumatoid arthritis. Well, here's the problem with cortisone shots. It really makes for down the road where your tendons are often going to rupture and whatever. I mean, there's side effects. A lot of athletes take cortisone shots so that they can play. You know, they get a cortisone shot in between games because it's rapid. Cortisone, there's nothing like cortisone. Like it is prednisone, cortisone. These things are tremendous in terms of anti-inflammatory. There's nothing like them. They're so rapid. The problem is side effects. And so, you know, you got rheumatoid arthritis and you got to get cortisone just so that you can function. Make sure. I would be a big guy on lots of bone broth, lots of probiotics, to really help your tendons and your muscles, that they're going to really take the brunt, and even of course your immune system, because cortisone, you already have an autoimmune disorder, but cortisone suppresses the immune system, and not in a good way. You're much more susceptible to cancer now and all that. So take your vitamin D. Okay? Thanks for the question, Evelyn. Great one. Rosa, car sickness, middle ear. Imbalance. Happens to a lot of people. They got middle ear problems. Betty, coffee and water. Oh, Betty was asking about, I should have mentioned this a little bit earlier. Here's what she said. Her naturopath said, when you drink coffee, you need water for your liver. No, coffee's good for your liver. No, and water's good too. So if you drink coffee, drink water too. I want you to drink both of them. Okay? And last question, Linda, cholesterol spots on the eyelids, can they go away? Yeah, change your diet. Change your diet. It's not because you're eating too much cholesterol. You're usually not eating enough cholesterol. Okay? Can they go away? A lot of people get rid of them. Okay? So, okay. Thanks for all those great questions. Okay? And you guys are great. I'm going to come on and say hi to you, to the folks that I didn't get a chance with this morning. We appreciate it, okay? Couple of housekeeping things. In about 2 weeks, we'll have the second print of the book, okay? Because people have been asking. You guys made it #1. We sold out. and COVID, it's tough today with publishers and all that. They're just having a hard time keeping up. So, but we're promised in a couple of weeks we'll have that book back, okay, for sale. Thank you very much for that. For the Facebook group, make sure you join. If you're not in there, get your friends and family to join well, it's not that little of a group, but it's a good group. And the interaction is really great. And if you want to tell your friends, get them to sign up on their smartphone to get our podcast, okay? Because these are turned into podcasts. And we appreciate all the downloads and all that. It's amazing. Okay. Talk to you soon. Love you guys.